1492, Christopher Columbus, Juan Cortez, 1619, Thomas, all the stuff they did, they enslaved us during those times. That's when the Renaissance, the rebirth, that's when they started overtaking us. Read.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes.
To do what?
To do all his commandments and his statutes.
If you don't do them, read.
Which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake.
Curse 68 again. It's a bunch of curses. We just getting right to the point. Read.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I speak unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold into your enemies for bondmen,
slave men,
and bondwomen,
slave women,
and no man shall buy you.
So slavery was a curse from God on his people called the Israelites, which the world calls blacks and Hispanics. 48 real quick. We in the curses right now. Read this.
Verse 48. Thou shalt, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
God said, since you didn't want to serve me, I'm going to set up a situation where you're going to have to serve your enemies. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
So, now I'm going to ask you, who would, according to this, who is our enemy? He said, I'm going to make y'all serve your enemies. Those enemies, like he just said, put us on slave ships. So who did God say our enemy is?
Well,
don't be scared.
You're your own enemy when you didn't listen to him.
That's correct. That's correct. But then he said we're going to serve. Did we serve ourselves once we got off the slave ships? We served ourselves?
No, you served the enemy.
The one that put us on the ship, right? Who is that?
The slave.
What race is that?
The whites.
So God says the whites are what to us?
Are in slavery.
Nope. Read 28 again. Matter of fact, read 48.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemy.
Which people are we serving right here? We're getting sold by, raped by. The whites. Read it from the top again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy.
So God is calling the whites our what? Enemies. Do you believe that?
Not every
It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. How many white people are standing up and fighting for us? How many white people are, as far as the laws and the housing rules and the packed up in the jailhouses, who's standing up to fight for us? We getting shot down in the streets left and right. Who's fighting for us? So how can you say not everybody? They're sitting back reaping the benefits, living their best life, while we sit here and struggle day in, day out, live check by check.
That's what
They got cars. We got to walk to the store.
Bring it out.
You going to the store? You gotta walk. You gotta walk. They in cars. Not only is they in cars, they in nice cars.
Of course.
They driving around in Benzes. They live in mansions. They're reaping the benefits of this, of us picking the cotton and slaving.
Exactly.
We're subdued now, and actually, what I'm about to read is going to prove it. They're not. That's
exactly what I was thinking these last few months, especially last few days.
Until they stand up and fight for us, they continue to be our enemies, and we got to go by the word of God. God said they're our enemies. This is why we always get snatched up and snared by them, because we continue to believe that they're our brothers, and you know what we do? We stop following their customs. We go to their churches and we bow down to their God. We celebrate their customs, Christmas, Halloween. So that's the issue when we deal with them. So subtly, they're our enemies. Read that out from the top again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So he says, since you didn't want to serve me, I'm going to make you serve your enemies. Which who gonna send?
The Lord shall send against thee.
God sent those nations against us. They weren't strong enough to just overtake us. God sent them. Read.
In hunger.
In what?
In hunger.
God said we're gonna serve them in hunger. Who owned that store you was just about to go to? Do we? Lots of Hispanics own it?
No.
Nah. Who you think own that store? Our enemies. Our enemies. God said you gonna serve your enemy in hunger. You want food? Go to them. Who owns all the buffalo and the cattle on this side of the land where we standing at before the white man came? Who owned the trees?
Selling it to a lot of Chinese and overseas people.
But whose land was it? Whose land was it?
The Indians.
The Indians, who are what? Israelites.
Right.
This was their food. This was their trees that we got to go to Home Depot to buy their wood just to put up a door in your house.
Yeah.
So he said,
and God created everything. They didn't create the things that puts the architecture, the things that make the economy.
Right, but he created those things for who? For the Israelites. Whose land? Who did he give this land to that we standing on? Who owns it now?
We should go back to where,
How can we go back when the lands are taken? You say go back. This is the land of the so-called Indian. Where would he go back to when this is his land? It was taken from him. And now their store set up where they where
If you look here, it says that
their store set up now where we got to buy food, water, wood back from them.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
Water is free from God.
Right. So read it again. Remember, the book is dedicated to who? To the Israelites. You got to keep that thought because you keep mentioning other nations. This is what God allowed to happen to us for breaking the law. The law wasn't given to everybody. It's for me and you to do. Read it from the top.
therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So what race did God send against us?
The white.
The whites. Clear as day, because we read it, right? Slave ships, land taken, read.
And hunger.
And hunger. You got to go to them to get your food, read.
And in thirst.
And thirst. You want water. Water fall freely from the sky. In certain places, you'll get fined some money. If you collect enough rainwater, you can't even do that. They bottled up your water. You got to go in there and buy Zephyr Hills from them just to quench your thirst. Read.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. This right here is a law from God. Numbers chapter 15, verse 38. God told us to do this. Now we're keeping the law. Who do we have to buy these from? From our enemy, right? We don't manufacture clothes anywhere, do we? Look, the Native Americans remember that much. Don't they wear fringes on the bottom of their clothes? We thought that was just a style. No, that comes from God. They're the people of God.
The Indians.
Yeah. Read.
And in wants of all things.
What's that? I'm sorry?
From a while back, I knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know. I always wondered.
I didn't know that until,
Yeah, I always wondered why they wore them, but then I found out why they wore them, and then I found out my people, Judah, we wore them too, and we're the same people. I didn't associate that with my people, but we all, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, were Israelites. We all wore those fringes as stated in Numbers chapter, don't go to Numbers 15 and 38 is where that is in the Bible. So read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
So the man that we gonna serve in hunger, thirst, nakedness, clothes, it says he. Who's the he? Who did all of that? The white man, the enemy. He gonna do what? He
shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So that's history in the Bible. The Bible is the black and Hispanic man's history book. So he destroyed us mentally. That's why he can take the chains off now. Right. Because we dress out of order now. We eat the wrong foods that God said not to eat. We do that custom. We don't do the Passover no more. We don't do the Days of Atonement, Hanukkahs, none of that stuff. But I'm going to show you some laws. Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5. So now is the time to come back to our customs. We know who we are. That's the Holy Ghost. Waking up back to who you are. You're not a Hispanic. Hispanic means property of Spain. I'm not a black person. My skin ain't even black. Black is not a nation. I'm not an African American. That's two different nations. I'm a Jew from the tribe. I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. That's who I am. You're an Israelite from the tribe of who? Which one would you say you associate with?
Cuba.
Cuba. You're Manasseh. Your
Spain.
father is so-called Cuban. So you would be from the tribe of Manasseh. You're Israelite from the tribe of Manasseh. So now that we've come back to that, what customs do the Israelites keep? We're going to go over that in the law. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So the woman should not wear what men wear. What kind of woman is he talking to? Who's the letter dedicated to? To the Israelites. Are you an Israelite? Yes. So it's talking to you, directly to you, right? Read it again from the top.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So the Israelite woman shouldn't wear what Israelite men wear. Read.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
So before I explain that part, I read the second part, because the second part makes more sense. Neither shall the Israelite man wear what the Israelite woman should wear. Read it from the top again.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So what do men wear that the Israelite woman should be wearing? You can look at me right now. It's something I'm wearing that you should be wearing. Pants, right? Because it can't be a shirt. Everybody wears a shirt. That don't make sense. pants is what you shouldn't be wearing. Read.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
So a woman's garment will be what? A dress. You know why? Because you're a princess with God. You're not no regular woman. You're the cream of the crop, the top. You ever, we say this all the time. See, that made you feel good, didn't it? That made you feel good.
I found some dresses.
You gotta wear dresses.
Yeah.
Instantly put a smile on your face to know you're a princess. Right. Right. Wouldn't it make you feel more feminine and more royal to have on your dress? How would you think? See how bold I'm talking? How would I feel if I had on a dress? Me and my man right here, son of God, had on dresses. How you think we'll feel? I wouldn't even be able to talk like this. You gotta read softer if you got on a dress. You can't talk like this. So that's called cross-dressing. So when we see men wearing dresses, we can easily point that out and go, that's wrong. But when we see women do it, for some reason, we can't put the two and two together and go, that's cross-dressing. You know why? Because our women look good. And some of the men are whoremongers and they're lustful. So they like to look at that. So a man ain't gonna look at a woman in pants and go, hey, you should take that off. He wanted to keep it on so he can look at it. So I'm gonna give you something. Read that one more time. What? I'm sorry?
I said I can't stand it.
Can't stand it. And are you married? You want to get married? When you do get married, do you want a man to respect you for your body or for what's up here? You want him to see that you're a godly woman, right? Because if he can see all of that, you're never gonna know if he truly loves you. Because he's talking to you because of that. Because of the legs he can see your butt, he can see your breasts. Versus you wearing a modest, godly dress, now he has to inquire about who you are. And do you fit this Bible? And can you two come together in a godly union? Read that one more time and I'm going to show you something.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
Our Israelite women don't wear dresses. Don't dress like a man. Read.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Read.
For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Abomination means God hate that. That's another Christian lie. They say God don't hate. If you got on pants or tights, God hate that. If I got on a dress, God hate that. Along with any other law I break. That's why he's called a father. Give me 1 Timothy 2:9. Along with any of the law that we break. Now we know we fall. We're in the flesh. We got to rise back up and do better the next time. That's how we got to live. Sometimes we get weak. But you got to, he's called a father. Just like with our children, I got kids at the house. When they disobey me, no matter what it is, I get mad. God is the same way. We don't have emotions that God don't have.
He loves.
Exactly. There you go. You said it better than I did. Read that.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 9. In like manner also, the women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
In like manner, just like God is saying, I'm getting these men in order. In like manner, the counterpart to these godly men, adorn yourself, meaning dress yourself with modest apparel. You know what modest means? What does modest mean? What does it mean? On the head.
That was always
right. You said you usually always dress modest. Right. You always. You always been from America? Have you lived? Where else have you lived? Other countries. Oh, when you were 6. Okay, I asked because I know a lot of times the customs that people keep here in America, they don't keep outside of the country. It's until they come here where they truly get corrupted.
What is the nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models.